Hi, everybody, and welcome to Literacy Innovations, the Movement. I am Ebony, and I'm coming to you with another sight word activity. In my previous video, I spoke about sight words and how important they were for your learners to learn. The reality is that sight words or high frequency words make up the majority of what your learners will be exposed to. Oftentimes when they have longer words, they have learned phonics and they have learned how to decode them by breaking them down using prefixes, suffixes, and other things of that nature. However, sometimes these sight words cannot be sounded out, so they must know them. And we never want them to get those particular words confused, because it can change up exactly what they're trying to say, and it can also impede their comprehension. So we want to make sure that they're really well versed in knowing what their sight words are. So for today's activity, I've created a short paragraph. Now I'm gonna maybe move out of the frame of the camera for a while, but I'll read this. You'll still hear my voice. And once I'm done, we'll come back to discuss what I've written. One Friday in August, Ebony said to James, "I want to go to Walmart to buy a new green ball." He told her they would go Saturday because he needed to buy something too. Their mom told them to stop at Dollar Tree and bring her 4 yellow gift bags. So, and what I've written, most of the words used here are high frequency words or sight words, but I sprinkled in some proper nouns as well. Friday, day of the week; August, month of the year; Ebony, my name; James, my brother's name; Walmart, a popular store; Saturday, day of the week; Dollar Tree, a popular store. So what I've done here is I've tried to use things that the kids may be used to, that they've seen before, that they've heard of. And then for the names, I just use names of family members because oftentimes that makes it easier for them. Now, let's talk about some other things that are included here. Notice, all of these are actually on something that's special. It looks different from the regular sentence strips that I use. That's because I wanted to bring attention to it. And I don't know if you can tell, but they are in neon colors because I just like to make it a little playful. Now, I started off with orange. There's no rhyme or reason for that, but I ended up in green only because I ran out. So I don't ever want you to lose what you're trying to do simply because you really just ran out of something. So I had to improvise. So I didn't think it would be too much of a problem. Now here, I had needed. It's a past tense word. I've made the ed green just to draw attention to it. So that's something we can talk about, that a lot of verbs, when they're in past tense, they end in ed. Also, you can bring to your learners' attention that all of our proper nouns start with a capital letter, because that's something important that they need to know. Also, another important fact is dialogue. You know, kids see dialogue all the time, but sometimes in their writing, they don't understand dialogue. So maybe we can bring this to their attention. So before I have quotation marks, and then the end quote should have been after ball. So we can talk about that quotation marks are for exactly what somebody says. Another thing we can talk about is indenting, because I definitely indented my paragraph because I just want them to get used to that particular format. So I said all of that to say it doesn't always have to be so complicated. You can just come up with something, but it will really help your learner. Because if we really focus on these things now, these are foundational skills. And as long as they understand that, then they'll be able to go forward and do even more intense things. So like I said, this was just something simple that I made up. I tried to use words that would be familiar with your learner just to give you an idea, but you can use anything that they would know, any stores locally, any restaurants, anything like that, any family members' names. You can get as creative as you want. This can be as long as you want. I made mine simple just for the purpose of time, but you can get very elaborate. You can actually work with your learner to create the story or the selection, and you can still think of something. So all I was trying to do is give you an idea of something that you can do that's relatively easy. My sentence strips just came from the Dollar Tree. And then the board I already just had around here somewhere. So it doesn't always have to be something so elaborate when we're doing something. So I want you to keep that in mind, and remember, this is a safe space. So if you have any questions, if you need any materials, you can give me your email address and I'll mail you something. I know after the last video, some parents requested the Dolch sight word list. I definitely emailed that to them. So just keep in mind, I'm here for whatever you need. So you can always email me at literacyinnovations.com. You can find me on Facebook at Literacy Innovations LLC. You can find me on Instagram at Literacy Innovations. So anytime you're looking for me, you can get in touch with me. If you still need help with sight words, or you feel like your learners need more practice than you are equipped to give them, you can always get my book, A Guide to Becoming a Better Reader Using Sight Word Practice and Word Work. As usual, have a good day and stay safe. Bye.